Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications on future uploads. Hello everyone, Simon Bard here, or you can call me Sully. To continue with Warner Bros. 100th anniversary, I'd like to review a classic that I quite enjoy. One that has become such a staple for Warner Bros. That has been used in most of their promotions, has garnered 2 Oscars for Best Music and Best Song, and an honorary Oscar for Judy Garland, and one that inspired other variations and adaptations, including one from Warner Animation Group sometime next year, to celebrate the film's 85th anniversary. Originally released under MGM, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, on August 25, 1939, it's The Wizard of Oz. Director Victor Fleming has made a very decent fantasy based on the book The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, with nice characters, a nice story, good effects, and wonderful songs. The story follows Dorothy Gale, who lives in a farm in Kansas with her Auntie Anne and Uncle Henry, along with 3 farm hands, Hickory, Zeke, and Hank, as she tries to tell them about how her dog Toto chased the cat up Miss Elmira Gulch. But no one listens as they're too busy working on the farm. Yet Miss Gulch arrives to take Toto away to the sheriff to have the dog destroyed, but Toto escapes and he and Dorothy run away. They come across Professor Marvel, as Dorothy wants to go with him, yet Marvel seeks advice from the crystal ball and sees Auntie Anne fainting, resulting in Dorothy going back to her farm, where a tornado is surrounding the place and Dorothy's family hides in the bunker. When Dorothy arrives and tries to find her family, she gets knocked out and the tornado takes the house away from Kansas and to the land of Oz, where she meets the Munchkins of Munchkinland and Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, who are happy to see that Dorothy's house landed on the Wicked Witch of the East, making her dead. But the witch's sister, the Wicked Witch of the West, arrives to claim the ruby slippers worn by her, only for Glinda to give Dorothy the slippers, and the witch vows to get Dorothy and her little dog too. Glinda then tells Dorothy that, in order to get back to Kansas, she'll have to go see the Wizard of Oz in Emerald City, and to follow the yellow brick road to reach it. Dorothy does so while meeting 3 new friends, the Scarecrow, who wants a brain, the Tin Man, who wants a heart, and Cowardly Lion, who wants some courage. As Dorothy convinces them to go see the Wizard of Oz with her and see if he'll give her friends and herself what they want. All the while, the Wicked Witch of the West tries to stop Dorothy and her friends using spells in order to get the ruby slippers. The first time I saw this film was on a taped VHS along with the making of the film to celebrate its 50th anniversary, and I must have watched the taped version at least several times until I owned a DVD copy of it, which includes the making of feature. Yet while I did put this film among my top 20 favorites movies list, at number 11 if I recall, my opinions on this film did meander a little with seeing more movies, and that I based my list on what I felt was great than thought, or sometimes both, and that my top 20 list is of films that I rate 4 stars. So that list might be dated. However, I still like the film, and what it presents is still good and memorable. It has a charming atmosphere with likable characters, the songs are very memorable, the effects from the tornado and Glinda's bubble are nice and effective, some bits of humor I laughed or chuckled at, the puppetry of the talking trees are great, the sets like Munchkinland and Emerald City look neat, the makeup and costumes are well done, and despite the opening scenes feeling rushed to me, I did get what the characters are saying, and yet it still has its charm in its sepia-tone cinematography. Now, as much as I enjoyed the film growing up, I would admit it's not a perfect film as it does have its flaws. A string can be seen holding the Cowardly Lion's tail, a sign says the bell is out of order, but it seemed to work fine. Part of the matte paintings are noticeable that expect Dorothy to hit it and turn around. Some vague bits like the witch's hourglass and what Dorothy and the Scarecrow whispered to each other during the If I Only Had a Heart dance sequence, and why the Wicked Witch wants the slippers other than they're hers. And it did feel it went by fast for an hour and 41-minute film, when I remember it being slowly. And I'm not going to bother with issues like Scarecrow's mention of an isosceles triangle, or Glinda's explanation of telling Dorothy how to get home at the end, either because they have some context to them, even if it's slightly vague, or simply that it's been done before and I'm not going to go over them. Though Glinda saying only bad witches are ugly seems stereotypical. But in the end, among the issues I have with it these days, the good stuff around it does outweigh it. I enjoy the charm it brings, the characters are interesting, there's bits of humor I like, the songs are enjoyable, the sets, makeup and costumes are swell, the effects are nice, and it's all quite quotable, enjoyable, and memorable. It might have left my top 20 favorites movies list, but it's still a good and nearly wonderful film. 3 Bugs Bunnies. And that is it. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or X. Until next time for a new video, and thanks for your time.